Hi, this is a tutorial for tog247. Today we're going to be importing photos into Lightroom from our camera and preparing them for uploading them to the 24/7 website. So the first thing we're going to do is just set up a little bit of prep work by creating a folder for where our pictures are actually going to go. So I'm going to open on a Mac the Finder, but in a Windows it would just be Explorer, and I'm going to go to my pictures or pictures on a Mac, and I'm going to create a folder called tog247. It's ready to put our pictures that we export for the website. So that's been created here in my pictures. So that bit of work's done. I'm now going to launch Lightroom, and at the same time I'm just going to plug my camera in to the computer, but leaving the camera off at the moment. I'm now going to now Lightroom is launched, I'm going to turn the camera on, and within a couple of seconds Lightroom should pop up a window saying the import window, and should show you a few options and thumbnails of your pictures on the camera. If you don't see the pictures over here on the right hand side, it's probably the checkbox down here on the left which is show preview, and if I uncheck that you can see that shows or hides the thumbnail images that are on your camera. So I'm going to go through the options on the left hand side here. File handling. We have two options: to copy photos to a new location and add to catalogue, or we could copy photos as DNG files and add them to the catalogue. Well, I'm not going to convert them to DNG files, and we'll discuss that in a later tutorial, so I'll leave it on just copy to new location and add to catalogue. Where am I going to copy them to? So I'm going to choose a folder. Now the way I like to set up my folder structure of pictures is by having a folder called My Photos, a folder for the year, and then a folder for the month. And as you can see, I've already created these folders using Windows Explorer or using macOS Finder to create these folders, so they already exist. And because we're in 2009 and May, I'm just going to choose 2009 and May and hit choose. I now want to organize these pictures into a subfolder, and I would choose a relative name for what the outing was or what the pictures mean to you, and I'm going to call this a walk in the country. And you know, whether this be a trip to the zoo or whatever it is, to help you organize your pictures. Okay, don't re-import suspected duplicates. Well, that will check to see if there's any of these pictures still already in Lightroom for you. So I'm going to make sure that's checked. I'm not going to back up at the same time, but that's a good option if you like to keep a spare backup of your pictures. File naming, I'm just going to leave as the file name, which I'm happy with. I'm not going to apply any developed settings or metadata or keywords here. This is something we'll discuss in a later tutorial. And you can see they've all got check boxes in the top left hand corner, and they're all checked. And here, if we wanted to uncheck them or check all of them, or if we wanted to, if we saw one that we knew that we didn't want to import, we could just uncheck it here. But for this, I'm just going to import them all. When I'm happy, I'm going to choose import. So in my catalogue, you can see I have previous import selected, which is obviously showing my previous import, which are these 8 images. And if I also come down to my folders, 2009 in May, drop down May, I have a walk in the country. And here are my 8 pictures again. So I'm not going to edit these pictures in Lightroom. I'm just going to show you how to export them for TOG 24/7. So by double clicking the picture, I get a nice big screen of that one image. I can then right click and choose export and export. I'm now going to set up a preset for this for TOG247. So our export location. We want to export to a specific folder and choose, and I'm going to choose tog247 and hit choose. So now they're going to be exported to that specific folder. I don't need to put these into a subfolder. I don't want to add them to the catalog. Existing files, I want to ask what to do. That's in case if it finds a file with the same file name, it will ask us what to do. File naming, I'm just going to leave as file name. File settings, well, I need to choose JPEG for the internet, and I'm going to set a quality of about 75, and I can type in there 75. Color space, I'm just going to choose sRGB because that is what we need for the internet. And the resizing the picture, I need to resize the long edge to fit within 700 pixels, which is what we have set on tog247 at the moment. The resolution is fine at 72. I'm going to sharpen them for the screen because that's where we're going to be viewing them. They're not going to be printed. And then I can choose the amount of sharpening. Well, I'm going to stick with standard as I found that to be perfectly adequate for the internet and for general usage on the monitor. Metadata, I'm not going to minimize the embedded metadata. I'm going to keep all of the metadata there, and this will show up in the EXIF information on tog247. I'm not going to write any keywords or add a copyright watermark at this stage. And after it's exported, I'm going to make it show up in a window so I can see it in a Finder window or a Windows Explorer window if you're using Windows. Having set all that up, I'm now going to add this as a preset. So I'm going to click the Add button over here, and I'm going to call it tog247 preset and hit create. We now see it shows up as a tog247 preset. I can now choose export. The picture is exported into this folder in Pictures, tog247, and here's the picture, and we can see that the size is 80 kilobits and the dimensions are 700 by 465, which is perfectly fine for tog247's website. Okay, now we have exported one picture, I'm now going to export another picture using the preset that we've just created. So I'm going to choose this picture to export. I'm going to right click, choose export, and now on the export list we have a preset called tog247 preset, which I can just click, and within a couple of seconds a window will pop open and it will have exported. And we can see that we have a slight issue with the size in kilobytes. We're at 176. And our target for tog247 is actually 110, and this because this picture's got a lot more information in it than the other picture we exported, so we need to adjust the quality slider when exporting. So I'm going to go back to Lightroom, I'm going to right click, export, and export this time. I'm going to click on the tog247 preset, and this time I'm going to change the quality. I'm going to knock it right down to about 35, say, just to see where I stand, and all the other settings will be exactly the same. I just need to click the export. It's going to pop open saying, warning me that a picture already exists with this name. Well, we know that, we just want to overwrite it with the new one, so I'm just going to click overwrite. We've now exported it, and we can see there that the file size is 104 kilobytes, which is fine for tog247. So the next stage is simply to upload them to the tog247 gallery. So go to the gallery page and click upload photos. You will then choose where you want to put the photo, and we'll just put it into Memories Galleries. I'm going to browse for the picture. I'm going to find the picture and choose open. I'm then give it a name and a description, and then using John's tutorial on description and keywords, you could enter this information here and click upload photo, and that's the job done.